the Swede has no issue at any point, A, being traded to Jackie, and then immediately falling into a role of being sort of a subservient partner. And he is happy in that role. And when we see him towards the end of season 2, he's flourishing, as you said, Belle, right? So he has no hangups about being led to a different part of himself, a different version of himself, a better part of himself through relationship with Jackie.
Men, when you submit to your wives, you flourish and become beautiful. So we're kicking off this episode with Belle has just returned from 36 hours of traveling. You've just come back from New Zealand. You literally 30 minutes ago were saying, I'm picking up my luggage right now. And now you're home and you're podcasting with us.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. Well, I can't believe your commitment and your stamina. How was New Zealand?
New Zealand is as glorious as I remembered. It's just a wonderful, wonderful country full of wonderful, wonderful people. If, like me, you're an outdoor lover, it's just Mecca. It's just incredible. I could spend a year in each island and not run out of walking trails, biking trails, adventures. It's incredible. It's just amazing.
And you saw Reese Darby while you were there.
I absolutely did. I also got to meet Rosie, actually.
Oh my God. Tell us about meeting Rosie.
Well, Rosie was selling the merch. So yeah. So not only that, but she also just looked at me because I made 2 stops, and in each one I was just basically give me 5 of everything. And so she just kept looking at me like, what is happening right now? But she was very kind.
What was your favorite part of Reese's show?
Bill Napier opening the show.
Oh, good. Oh, good. He did that.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't do that at the LA show, last LA show. So
yeah. No, so that was brand new, of course. And then he went on for 2 hours. So we were told the show would end at 9:30, and we were walking out of there about 10:45.
Oh my gosh.
So he has given little interviews since then when he said that was basically everything. And then I'm going to start trimming and just compacting as I go. But yeah, it was amazing. My face hurt for 2 days because it was just nonstop laughing. It was also very funny because you could tell the people in the audience were not from New Zealand because we were very loud comparatively. Most New Zealanders were they were laughing and everything, but we were clapping and screaming. There were maybe 6 of groups that I'm going to guess were Australians.
Well, that must be hard then, doing comedy in New Zealand if the audiences are very demure like that.
So both Steve and Reese actually acknowledged that. They said, it's incredible. We just came back from the US where the audiences are electric. It's just loud. And it's interesting to be back home where they love it. It's not that they're not loving it, but they're just kind of laughing and they have their arms crossed.
Oh, no.
It's a different vibe. And that also led to him, again, this is 3-on-3 now, acknowledging me because he made a joke that I absolutely adored. He threw in a homoerotic joke and I started laughing hysterically and clapping. He goes, see? They like it. They're clapping.
So basically, you're best friends now with Reese. Is what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm saying. We're yeah.
And did you eat at a restaurant in New Zealand while you were there?
So many restaurants. Lots of restaurants.
Did you have that awkward thing where they don't come bring you the check? You have to go up front to pay. Did you have to figure that out?
Yes. So it goes back into the whole, all of New Zealand is they're just trusting human beings. I don't know how people from New Zealand go out into the world because you're talking about whenever you get here, your hotel room will be unlocked. We'll leave the keys in an envelope outside the door or something. And you go, what? It's like that. They just eat. And whenever you're done, we're going to trust you that you could stop by and pay for what you just ate. We're just going to trust this.
Yeah, you could just leave.
You could just leave.
Because they'll never know.
Yeah, exactly. And magically, they know what table. You just go up there. There's not a table number or anything. At least most of the places I went to. You just go, I'm ready. And they go, here's what you ate. And you're like, how do you know? Yeah, it's the first couple of times we just kind of sat there looking.
See, that's what I was saying.
Yes,
we sat at the first restaurant for so long, probably 30 minutes longer than we would have normally. We were just are they ever going to come bring us the bill? Do we live here now? What happens? And then we finally figured out, oh, we have to get up. Oh,
Yes. Well, and there's another thing is that a lot of sit-down restaurants will still have you order at the counter. So that's not something you wish to. So you were just sitting there going, well, is somebody going to come by and get our order? We go, okay, order at the counter.
They need to have just like a little instruction manual when you land in New Zealand. Like, here is how New Zealand is different. These are the things that you have to do.
Yes, agreed. But it just makes it fun. It's all those silly things one does. Also went to a movie, also super loud at that movie. So again, everybody quiet, everybody being very demure, and I'm sitting there screaming at the screen, like loudly crying. So yeah, it's just, you could just pick out the non-New Zealander very, very easily.
What other like cultural differences did you notice that were awkward?
Another thing that I loved was recycling bins everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Petrol stations, hotel, like they're basically like, you are going to recycle. So that was a fun one. Again, just everybody's very, very just calm and even keeled and kind. And just, it's like a whole country on Xanax or something. And yet they jump off things and they climb things. And so, it's an interesting contrast.
Andrea left a note for you in New Zealand. What was that like? Tell us that story.
Well, it was super cute. I finally made it, and it took a second for the Robs to understand what I was saying. I was like, Andrea. She goes, oh, we remember her. Great. She left a note. She goes, yeah, she did. And I am the recipient of that note. And it took a few times to be like, oh, okay. So I finally got the note. It was lovely. I got to play with Chloe's sword because it was attached to the sword. And there is still one thing from our flag left, but it is enormous. So I could not buy it and bring it.
It's the big, like I was trying to explain it. The big, it's a big thing.
It's what you use to stuff a cannon.
Yeah.
So that big, almost like a giant, enormous Q-tip or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely could not bring it with me. But yeah, so and of course they give it to me. I open it and it's so kind and so sweet. And my note to Chloe is like, "Hey Chloe, what's up? Have fun." Because it's basic. And Andrea has drawn a picture for me. It's beautiful flowers, and I'm all the story again.
I'm glad you got it. I'm glad I didn't go with my original idea of tying it to a sheep and like you have to trace that sheep down. That was my first idea, but I went something a little easier. So I'm glad you got it.
Lovely.
I love that because it's like the little Our Flag Means fanfiction treasure hunt. Andrea left a note for Belle. Belle's leaving a note for Chloe. We're just keeping the Our Flag Means fanfiction energy alive in New Zealand.
Yes.
So let's start the official of this episode. Today, we're talking about the sexy woman with 19 husbands. It's the Spanish Jackie episode. Woo! On the pod this week is Belle, all the pronouns, everyone's favorite horny imp back from New Zealand. And Andrea, she's annoying and she's back. You wrote that for yourself.
I did write that.
And I'm Carly Heath. Let's kick things off with our first question, as we always do on the thing. What is the most gay pirate thing that's happened to you recently? Andrea?
Obviously yesterday we put on our treasure hunting outfits, Carly and I did, to go hunt for not treasure because we're not getting cursed. For context, listen to Haunted Hollywood Hour. But yeah, we put on our best treasure hunt season 1 episode 7 outfits and went and did some spirit hunting, I'll say. And then I used my Our Flag tarot deck. So I got to do much gay pirate activity yesterday in person with Carly, which is very fun and exciting.
Yeah, it was. And my gay pirate thing is I bought an outfit for the treasure hunt and it was very Stede bonnet coated because it was kind of military, but also frilly. I did more planning of the outfit than the actual things required for the hunt. I did not bring water, food, or a shovel because I forgot.
Yes, the super Stede bonnet coated, all fashioned.
Belle, I guess we could say your big gay pirate thing is coming back from New Zealand, but did you have any particular gay pirate-ness happen in New Zealand?
I'm going to have gay pirate stories for the next 6 months. It's been amazing. My favorite bit, though, is my partner and I were walking down the very beach upon which the dream sequence and the reunion, the fight sequence were filmed. And there's nobody else around because the weather was really weird. And he quoted some Stede at me. So he said, "We're intertwined, joined. We wrote our names in each other in permanent ink." And I was about to turn around and go and say, "Don't say that. Those words are very important to me." But then he knelt down.
Oh, you got engaged.
You really buried the lead on that story.
Wow. So you're wiggling your ring finger. I need to narrate this for podcast listeners.
Yeah.
You're wiggling your ring finger, your significant other recited the lines from the show as they proposed to you. That's pretty gay pirate.
Yeah, that's pretty gay pirate. And super nerdy, so he also called me Moon of My Life in Death Rocky. Yeah, so...
And so you're happy about this. This isn't like, oh God, he proposed. It's like,
yes,
this is something that you actually want.
Yeah, I think so.
Are you sure?
No, yes, I do.
Okay.
That's so cute. I hope. Do you have pictures? Anyone there taking pictures?
No, I did take a photo of our shadows, and then took a couple of self-portraits to send to the family and everything. But we just kind of enjoyed the time, and yeah, it was very lovely.
Okay, so let's plan a group trip, right? And then your partner can come so you can recreate it so I can take pictures because that's so cute. I love this.
Deal. And then just to finish it off, Carly, you can cut this out if you want to, but because it was, I'm telling you, nobody there because the weather was a disaster. We totally had sex on the beach.
Oh my God.
Was it, and this is during the day? The daylight hours?
Yeah, it was 5:00 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, not a lot of people there. That's wonderful. Beautiful. Yeah. Sandy.
No, I'm not cutting this out. I'm keeping this in.
I think Jackie would be proud, is all I'm saying.
This is true. This is true. I'm actually feeling much better thinking that this is going to be a first husband for you. How many more do you plan to collect?
We'll see. They tend to be a lot of work, but...
I know. That's the thing. That's why I was like,
which is another reason. Yeah, because another reason that I appreciate Jackie so much. I'm like, my goodness, you have 19 of them.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Oh, the trick is, though, to get them to do the work.
Absolutely.
That's the trick. That's something that I haven't been able to master, though, in my...
No, this man feeds me all weekend long. You know, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
I've outsourced a lot of my adult responsibilities to him.
And you've known him for a while.
Yes, we've been together for 6 years.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you just met this Swedish guy off a ship and you're like, interview process.
No.
You're like, okay, I've known him for a while. This is good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Jackie, the inspiration for us. What do we know about Jackie? What is her backstory?
Not enough. That's the first thing. We don't know enough about Jackie. I think there's obviously a lot of different ways you can interpret her backstory. There's fan fiction for that. But all we really know about her is that she is 25, bless her. She has 19 husbands. And when one of them dies, she's pretty cool with it. I love that for her. And she's an incredibly smart and capable businesswoman. Incredible at business.
She makes no effort to remember people's names.
Why should she have to? She doesn't have to. She's amazing.
What's her backstory with Jim? I feel like that's where we get like the most.
Yeah, the most meat. I mean, I think... You know, what we know from the story from canon, right, is that Jim and Olu were both working at, I assume, at the bar at Spanish Jackie's. And I'm sure a teal oranges expert would know. But I feel like I am unclear if that's where Olu and Jim met or not. But either way, Jim was working there as a ruse to get close to one of her husbands to kill him, which they did successfully.
Olu does say that he recommended Jim.
Okay.
Jackie. So my thought is they met at least a little bit before that.
Then that begs the question, how did Olu know Jackie? Was Olu just working there? Did he know her in some other context? I mean, that's what fan fiction's for.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a feeling Olu wasn't working at the bar. I feel like recommended makes me think that Olu was doing something else. Piracy. How did he come in contact with Jackie? Was Jackie a pirate on the seas before being a restaurateur, bar owner?
Yeah, that's a good point because she does command so much respect from every pirate that she encounters, right? So one would assume from that she herself had done, her time at sea, but also she's 25. So,
Yes.
how much could she really have done in that time? Although, there are lots of people that accomplish a lot of things at 25. Not me, but other people, they do that.
She
Well, and
knows.
if we go by the times as well, the times is when you stop being a child at age 7,
Right.
and then you're like, well, you're an adult now. Go find a way to make money and and take care of yourself. You've been cuddled long enough, and yeah, then you're kind of off into your life. Yeah,
She's someone that like Izzy Hands would go to and Calico Jack. She knows Calico Jack and they're like close. And she knows Blackbeard. So there's
And Blackbeard, as the most fearsome pirate, is respectful of her, right? We've never seen him not be respectful of her, take her opinion, So, yeah, she has done something. We don't know what, but
well, she's definitely ruthless. She does not suffer fools well. You get on her bad side, and she will cut off your nose. She's just not going to put up with anything. So she trains her husband. She's just she knows what she's doing, and she's succeeding in whatever she decides to do.
she has a wooden hand. How do you think that she lost her hand?
I mean, obviously some sort of violent fight that she almost certainly won and probably didn't even notice that her hand was gone. It's like, whatever, I'm busy, I'm winning, I'm killing somebody. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that it happened at sea. And that was the point that she stopped being at sea, even though she won.
I would also say that probably had to do with her story of seeking revenge. So there might have been either revenge that led to the hand loss or revenge for the hand loss. So that might be part of her story there.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about the whole conversation with Jim about revenge and her perspective on that. Oh, you're so good at this, Belle.
It's just obsession. That's all.
Yeah, and restate that. What did Jackie say about revenge?
Well, she talks about you don't want to go down that route, and it ages you. You need to move on. So that makes me think that something happened in her life where she too was in Jim's place, where she was looking for revenge and realized that it's just not a good way to go.
Fascinating. And she's close with the Siete Gallos. Well, at least she married one of them.
2 of them.
Oh, 2 of
Right.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is interesting because, the Siete Gallos, as far as we know from the story, are comprised of a bunch of shitty dudes. And she still was like, well, I'll marry 2 of them, whatever. So I think what makes her so interesting is that she doesn't really have a moral code per se that she operates off of. It's really just about like her money, what makes her happy. And that's kind of it. And you know what? That's great. I love that. But I do think it makes her a really interesting character in the context of the show where like everyone else is like trying to find themselves and develop who they are and come to like these new understandings of themselves. And she's like, no, I'm just about my money. So that's who I am. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, well, she's found herself already. She's done it. She's there. She's ready. And then there's also, I mean, I think it is a moral compass. It's just her own, which is very similar to pirates as a whole. So for the idea, of course, pirate technically was a crime, but really they were doing the same thing that the navies were doing, just not for the king. The pirate culture might have been abusive. So was the navy. The navy was horribly abusive. If anything, pirates were more democratic. So it's just the idea. She is a character that I think encompasses the idea behind the show, which is be yourself, regardless of what idiocy society says is right or wrong or whatever,
And what makes Jackie so fascinating?
I mean, I think it's everything we've been talking about, right? Like she is a fully realized person. Again, the joke being that like, Leslie Jones is not 25 and she's 25, but whatever. Like she's a fully realized person at 25. And she, like there's that meme of like when Michael Caine was in the Muppets Christmas Carol, like he's an actor amongst Muppets. I kind of get that. I mean, she's also a Muppet, but she's so much more self-assured compared to the other Muppets that are operating around her, which is, really interesting.
And another thing she does is that idea of marriage, of course, which especially at that time, but it was just thought of basically the woman is going to be subdued and is going to be, and is basically being sold for marriage, etc. Whereas Jackie she's in charge. And she's got 19 of them and she's collecting them like Pokemon. And she goes after whoever she likes and whoever fulfills whatever it is that she needs. And she's just strong and incredible.
She's a perspective, like an audience perspective, in that she doesn't buy the bullshit of the Stede Bonnet worldview. Like she's like, okay, genital pirate. Like she is that voice in the audience that's like, what is going on here? What's this nonsense? And she's the perfect person for Stede to run into.
Well, it's so interesting because she's, a Black woman, a young woman, but the idea of like class is sort of irrelevant in their interactions, right? Stede is of a higher class, landed gentry. And she's like, I don't give a shit. You're an idiot. Like that is so, God, she's so great. And that's a great point that, she sees through his bullshit immediately and is completely unimpressed.
Yes, absolutely. And we go back again to pirate culture. Pirate culture, one of the things about it was it wasn't nearly as racist as everywhere else at the time. So if you were smart, if you're strong, if you know what you're doing, doesn't matter. You're just perfect. So yeah, she commands everybody's respect, and she doesn't put up with Stede. I mean, everybody else finds him charming at some point, and she's like, no, you're not one bit charming.
What do we enjoy about the Swede Jackie dynamic?
I know that's for you, Belle. I see your wheels turning.
No, I just think it's absolutely adorable. The Swede becomes a bit more forward, like he becomes a part of the foreground of the story when he's with Jackie, as opposed to the background, because the Swede has a lot of really cute moments, but it's usually running in the back and you just have to look for him. And then when he gets with Jackie, then he's the big protagonist, if you will. He obviously loves her. He's super sweet about it, super sweet about her. She obviously really likes him because she puts up with some betrayal, and of course he blossoms and gets super hot. So
take us back though. Well, both of you came to the show really late, so. Were you even there when the season 2 trailer dropped and people were figuring out, wait, is Jackie with Swede? And that whole, and people are like, is Swacky happening?
Wacky.
Because it's such a crack ship.
It is. That's completely a crack ship.
Season 1, if someone had been writing Swede Jackie fanfic, I don't think it was a thing. I don't think anyone even put those mentally two together. And then the season 2 trailer dropped and people were like freeze framing. Wait, Jackie's in bed and Swede is in the background. What is happening? So you didn't experience that?
No.
Yeah, so we just accepted it as like, yeah, of course that makes sense without thinking about it at all.
But I mean, you still think, because when I entered the fandom, I started reading fan fiction from the back. And I mean, people immediately started shipping her with Evelyn, for example.
Yes. Everybody from season 1 was like, well, obviously these two, and I'm like, I mean, yes, but okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting, really fun, kind of really out of nowhere, which I absolutely love. Yeah.
And I love that it's kind of like an arranged marriage and Swede is like kind of property.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
So it goes the other way. Again, another reversal of tropes or of convention, where again she's the one choosing and he's being offered as a bit of a sweetener so that they are allowed to stay and work for her, and so that she gets over her dislike of Stede. Yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah, I think it's another way that the show approaches masculinity, right? Because the Swede has no issue at any point, being traded like a piece of property to Jackie, and then immediately falling into a role of being sort of a subservient partner, a submissive partner. And he is happy in that role. And when we see him towards the end of season 2, he's flourishing, as you said, Belle, right? So he has no hangups about being led to a different part of himself, a different version of himself, a better part of himself through relationship with Jackie.
Men, when you submit to your wives, you flourish and become beautiful.
Well, listen, all men should be submitting to somebody else all the time. So that's the first.
It really comes down, though, the fact that not everybody's comfortable, happy leading. Like, that's not for everybody. If it was, then the world would be a complete disaster. Everybody just tearing each other to pieces, trying to get to the top. So no, and if that happens, you happen to be a man and you happen to enjoy being told what to do, and then do it. Like, who cares? Again, another thing I love about the show, and they don't make fun of it. They don't like, this dude just, they go, yeah, that's what happened. There you go.
No, they have a really genuine relationship and polyandrous right? The opposite of polygamy. You know, so he's not even her only husband, and that's okay and that's fine. And they still have a true romantic and loving relationship that benefits both of them. That's super unconventional, but yeah, it's not a joke. It's real. They are really happy together.
Another poly relationship that is portrayed as being, again, it works for everybody. It's fantastic. This is how it goes.
What do you make of the final scene when Jackie and Swede are heading out on the ship by themselves? I don't see any other Jackie husbands there. Are Jackie's other husbands on the ship? Will they play a role in season 3? What are your thoughts?
I think she gets new ones. They probably, or she might have left them behind to stay and clean up and say, listen, you know, there's a lot of mess here. You 18 handle that. Hopefully they didn't all die. I don't think so. But yeah, you can stay behind. I'm going to take my current favorite because I imagine the favorites kind of rotate. And, you know, we don't really know how much time passes in season 2 because time is not real in the show. But wherever we are in time, he's her current favorite. Maybe he'll stay there, maybe not. But I think that she can just collect more husbands wherever they go.
I'm thinking now, as you're talking, though, Jackie and Swede have potentially good advice for Ed and Stede as they're going through their season 3. What would you call that? Season 3 relationship stagnation? Because Jackie obviously has had a lot of husbands and probably has many times had that experience of the fire of the relationship going out. Maybe she rekindles it, or maybe they rekindle it, maybe they don't. But like, what advice do you think Jackie and or Swede would give to Ed and Stede as they're in season 3?
Well, we hear Sweet's advice on how to keep your woman, which is you put your heart, your soul, your back, your whole body into it, you know? You work hard, you make it happen. For Jackie, we know what, as Sweet said, again, he said, there's a little turnover, husband-wise. Jackie's is more like, listen, when things don't work the way you want them to, you get yourself another.
Yeah, you're on board or you're not. So figure it out. So, you know, I don't know that her advice would necessarily be the most helpful because she's in a different situation. I didn't say that right, but she's got a different arrangement than the monogamous relationship that Stede and Ed are in, right? So what she has might not be applicable, but I do think, again, in her dynamic with the Swede, and I think we can infer with many of her other husbands, is that she's the leader, right? She's the one calling the shots. And what might be helpful for Ed and Stede as they're navigating, like, what does the reality of relationship look like, is, you know, you do take turns when there are two people, generally speaking, you take turns like stepping up and being the leader and stepping back and being the support. And you have to always, you know, you have to be willing to do both roles. And I think that's something that Jackie and the Swede could potentially help them understand.
Who else do you ship Jackie with?
Jackie gets, I love my fan fiction writers. I love you all so much. Jackie gets a lot, and I agree with all these, obviously. So Jackie gets shipped with Evelyn. We've talked about that. Jackie gets shipped with, in a kind of a casual manner a lot, with Blackbeard, which I enjoy. With Izzy, which I enjoy.
So much Izzy. And I'm like, it's, you know, it's hard for me to imagine. It isn't, and it is. Like, I'm like, yeah, that totally makes sense because Izzy needs a commanding person, but it's, yeah, I mean, it's wild. I love it.
I know. I could definitely see Jackie putting him, like, doming the heck out of Izzy, and just Izzy loving it, and just, yeah. Loving it again, even against his own inclination. Even if he's like, I shouldn't be liking this, he would. I mean, I really couldn't put anybody. Jackie gets shipped with Jim, and sometimes with Jim and Oluwande. It's just, I just don't think everybody makes sense with Jackie because she's just the best. She's the queen bee.
I saw one. It was a short, like, little snippet story. It wasn't a full story, but with Jackie and Calico Jack, and I was like, yes, that I love, because Calico Jack is someone who needs to be told that he's incredibly stupid, and he needs to be told often, and she is the person to do it. And I was like, yeah, I love this.
No, I don't think she would touch any of the British with a 10-foot pole, but other than that, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm just going on Jackie and Stede. I think it's just funny.
Yes, that would be interesting. Scare the bejesus out of him, and he wouldn't know how to deal with that emotion.
Kind of like here's what you need to do to Blackbeard. I will show you.
Yes. Oh,
Let me demonstrate on
if he
you.
hasn't written that, please write it. That would be amazing.
Because I feel like I've seen the other way around, right? Where Jackie is giving advice to Ed, but like physically and also verbally. But I haven't really seen that much with Stede, but that is really funny. That is really
I
funny. Because
love
yeah, what an
that.
absolutely insane dynamic.
What would you like to see Jackie do in season 3?
I'm gonna be a little uncreative and say I really loved in David Jenkins fanfic where he gave her a speakeasy. I was like, yes, that's so good. That's exactly what she should be doing. I really enjoyed that idea. I had not thought of it myself prior to that, but that fits so well into, her skill set, and she could make a lot of money, which she deserves.
I would love to have her help with the hunt for Ricky, if you will, for the let's get this asshole back for everything he did. In the way that she would do that, she would probably have the connections here, there, and everywhere, and be able to track him down, and would be able to, all of that.
She would be a great tool for calling bullshit on so many different scenarios. One, the bullshit of why is Frenchie captain? Because obviously Zhang is the superior captain. So I want Jackie to be the one there to call bullshit on that. I want when Ed and Stede are having their whatever relationship, whatever, I want her to call bullshit on that. I want to see what her relationship is with Teddy. Does she know Teddy?
Oh,
Does
right.
she knows Izzy, so that means she knows Teddy. Does she know Izzy and Teddy? I think she does. I think she has backstory there. So given that Fang was on the ship with Izzy and Calico Jack, I want to know what her relationship is like with Fang, because that's an interesting dynamic.
You're so right. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, they would have known each other for a super long time. And Fang is
So soft.
so I was gonna say so soft, but also self-assured in the same way that she is, right? Like Fang is not someone that doesn't know who he is or is trying to change because he's very, very content in who he is, especially in season 2. So yeah, I would love to see them interact, not necessarily romantically, although sure, why not? But yeah, just for them to be able to even say, oh yeah, remember when this happened? Remember like how we both felt at this time in our lives when we saw this crazy shit? That would have been that would be really interesting.
And seeing Jackie and Fang like lead the crew on solving a problem, I think would be really interesting because they are really the oldest. Well, not the oldest. Jackie's not. I keep on thinking, but she's not. But they have the most experience. Let's just say that. And also, okay, so Irene Adler brought up this idea of Jackie knowing some voodoo, someone down in the bayou who can bring Izzy back. And that got me thinking about what also is Jackie's relationship like with Buttons, because Buttons is also kind of an old timer at the sea. And maybe Jackie knows the same kind of woo-woo that Buttons knows. Do they have a history together? The sea is a small place, as we know from the show.
Especially in this universe.
Have they run into each other before? I would love to see the Buttons Jackie dynamic. What's that like?
Buttons did work for Jackie for a very short time, of course, while they were all together. But yeah, definitely see them interact more and see them compare notes when it comes to witchcraft and all that. Maybe work together to bring Izzy back. Love it.
Yeah. What would you love to see Jackie do, or who would you love to see Jackie do in Fix?
I love backstory. I think for her character specifically, I want more. I'll take all the backstory. I would love to just keep diving into the world of like, how did she get to where she is? How did she meet these different characters? How long has she known them? How did she get to this place of having so much respect in the community? That's super interesting to me.
Little Jackie taking no bullshit from anyone. Little 8-year-old Jackie just calling everyone out in her way, not remembering her teacher's name, calling her teacher, okay, Mark. His name is not Mark or anything close to Mark. Yeah. What roles would you like to see Leslie Jones play in the future?
Always with comedians, for some reason, I always think dark. I always want to see them in something just serial killers or I don't know why I have this obsession, but that would be lovely to see. I mean, everything I've seen her in so far, she has been absolutely brilliant. I think she's a very underutilized actor. So just put her in things, people. she's incredible.
I would
But
like to
yes,
see. I would like to see her do more romantic lead,
Yes.
be in relationship, because I think as an actress she makes a lot of interesting choices around, yeah, again, that sort of self-assuredness and being confident in herself and how she presents in the world. I would love to see, more of those roles for her. I think that'd be great.
She looks great in period costume. I would love like a Bridgerton.
I was going to say, put her in Bridgerton.
I've been wanting like Bridgerton, but like comedy Bridgerton. Obviously, I wrote something like that. So I'm like, this is what I would like to see. But like comedy Bridgerton, like I know Bridgerton has funny moments or whatever, but
it's not a comedy.
It's also stupid. And so a comedy, really funny Bridgerton with starring Leslie Jones as the Bridgerton. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's the Bridgerton. Yes.
definitely have her lead something. I think she's got the chops for it. She's got the strength. She's got the presence to lead a cast.
I want to see a duke try to woo her. I want to see multiple dukes fighting over her, and I want to see her being like, I'm bored with both of you, and then later being like, you know what, I will just have sex with both of you.
I was just about to say, I think she's a great character actor, I'll say, to represent polyamory, because she has so much energy and intensity. She really needs multiple partners, I think, to make her happy, and she deserves that. And she should have that in every universe, whatever she's acting in.
And then she's like, I'll have sex with both of you. Now I want you to have sex with each other, and I'll just stay here. And then I want people to bring her things and make her great food and fancy dresses. And then I want her to solve crimes.
Yeah, there's that
solving crimes.
There's that new show, The Resident. I have not watched it. I actually don't know anything about it, but I feel like she could do a role like that for sure.
Yeah, but in Bridgerton.
Yeah, so it's like a Poirot, but
like an Agatha Christie type situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the same page.
Yeah.
So we got some fic recs, right? So share your fic recs.
Okay, so I have a silly one, and well, they're all silly, but my silly one is someone put together like a fake Yelp reviews of Spanish Jackies and on AO3, and it's so good. So yeah, shout out to, this is, I guess, a collab, Bracken Wife and Stede's Left Shoe, and it's called The Food is Bad, but at least the service sucks. Parentheses, no stars. It's just like, I don't know, an amount of Yelp reviews. They delight me.
What are some of the funniest ones?
The glory hole in the bathroom was out of order. And then later, caution, that's not a glory hole in the bathroom. I ordered the yellow curry and they just beamed me with a coconut. Too loud to effectively blackmail my guest. Very good. Yeah, it's really good. So we will link that. But yeah, it takes like 5 seconds to read, but it really is like, what a good thing to uplift you if you're having a day. And then my other recommendation is, this is part of a very long and storied collection of works that I have not read. So I can't, I hope to go back and read all of these. So there's 38 parts, at least, of a work called Made a Promise When I Left for the Coast by A Letter in the Name of Sanity. So this little vignette is called Wild and Fluorescent, parentheses, Come Home to My Heart. And it's actually a story about Olu, Jim, and Archie. So like garlic soup, but no soup. So just garlic. It's a garlic story. But it's about, they're at Jackie's and they're talking with her about like their dynamics. And it's really about Olu and Jackie talking to each other about like what it means to be sort of possessive in a relationship. And it's just a little snippet story. And again, it's just Jackie interacting with these other characters, but I really liked it. And I thought it was really accurate to how she would speak and how Olu would speak to each other. And I really enjoyed it. So that is my recommendation.
Cool. Thank you. What about you, Belle?
Okay, I really liked, because I'm a dark person, it's a story called Jaded and Satiated by Idyllic Idioms. And it's how Evelyn lost her eye. Ooh. And, hint, Jackie was involved. And all of my recommendations are always explicit. So just, take that. And then there's a really, you really took me by Strange Blue Glow. And that's a Jackie and Izzy. And it's just a really cute well, cute. It's really sweet. I think Jackie wants to learn how to treat her husbands better, to be more of a giver, if you will. She wants to learn how to properly peg her husbands. So for her, it's kind of cute and funny and great.
Excellent. So this was a concise episode. I love this. And at some point, we never mentioned Leslie Jones's attraction to Taika, which I think
I know. I was thinking about that.
Is so real. She's so real.
I mean, she's got eyes, but yes, no, it's wonderful. And seeing them interact when she was hosting the Daily Show, and it's lovely.
And we'll have to drop a link to that in the show notes. But so Leslie Jones was hosting the Daily Show, interviewing Taika, and she just stops and says, "Do you know you fine as hell?" And he's like, "I know."
And it's also one of the few times that he talked about the show after season 2 was with her. And I think that also really speaks to like their dynamic, their comfort with each other, how, and you know, going back to our Taika episode and all the things that we love about the type of work that he does. I love that. And again, obviously it's not just him having a role in who's cast in the show, but I just love that she was one of several creatives and comedians recognized of like, you can be part of this. Like, even if you are not what other people might think of first, like we're thinking of you and we think you're perfect for this because you are just like so funny, so great, so powerful. So yeah, I love that little snippet interview. I mean, it's like 5 minutes and it's so good.
And Leslie's also responsible for that TikTok video of.
Oh, I forgot about that too.
Yes. So we all heard that video.
Wait, what's the TikTok video?
Oh, somebody just posted it again. But it's a video of basically all the cast except Joel, who ran away constantly dancing to what can I think? But it's like all the cast, a lot of the crew. We're gonna have to. I'll send you the link, and we'll have to.
Yeah, that has to go into the show notes for sure. It's yeah. Again, only Leslie Jones could pull off like having everyone do this silly dance and look very silly and also sexy and also amazing, because she is all of those things. Yeah, that's one of the best behind the scenes that we have received. Yep.
So as we wrap things up, what are you working on? What are you looking forward to? Where can people find you?
We're both like,
what am I looking forward to? Oh, my next holiday? No, well, I'm back, so now I'll be starting to work again on some more Ficks, or recording some more Ficks, and helping out how I can. I've signed up for the Pirate Gay Hour, so I'll probably be inundating you with more stories of my travels.
Good.
Yeah, people can find me in all the metas at bell.la.saltandbank and Perilous and Wicked everywhere else.
And I am working on this podcast stuff. That's where you can find me. And otherwise, I'm nowhere. But I am on Blue Sky. And so you can always message me there and tell me I'm annoying, because I think I am. But that's fine.
You're not, though.
Not annoying.
Being cringe is on the path to success.
And you know what? And you're right.
From that little cartoon. That's the best cartoon I've ever seen. And that is it for this episode. You can find me on Haunted Hollywood Hour podcast. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on editing our adventure to Cahuenga Hill, the Hill of the Hill, where we do spiritual stuff. We try to connect with the spirits of whatever is there on that hill in Hollywood. We make some discoveries. It's going to be on an upcoming episode, and we have all sorts of really fun episodes every week on Haunted Hollywood Hour that are a little paranormal, a little weird, a little kooky, but certainly leave you with feelings. And you can follow this podcast, Our Flag Means Fan Fiction, on Instagram. And be sure to leave us a little rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to, because that shows the world that there's still an audience for Our Flag related content. Until next time, do creations, be cringe, commit crime. Bye.